Doing something different today. I recently received a question essentially around content strategy. Now, as brand photographers, we are creating images with intention and purpose behind them, and we are communicating that to our clients so they know how to use the images, leverage these images across all different platforms, how they can repurpose the images. And it's a real critical skill for brand photographers to have. Your clients love it, and it really helps them come back for when they need the next session because you're giving that valuable piece of information that they might not have or have time to learn in their business about that kind of marketing element to it. So I wanted to touch on this idea of content strategy. I wanted to highlight just one specific piece just to get the ball rolling if this is something that you need more of. So let's jump in. So visual storytelling and content strategy, and we're really going to focus today on that building trust. Our clients want to build trust with their audience, and with trust comes sales, and we're all here to build our businesses. Okay, so I'm going to hit present, and hopefully this works. All right, and I will minimize this. Okay, this is good. All right, so let's move on to the first. This is more macro level. So you always hear about the nurture and community content, and then you hear about sales content. And many times it seems like when you're doing your initial research with a client and you want to get a sense of where they are right now, I will go on their social media, I will go on their website. And many times people are stuck in this sales content bubble. They're just throwing out what's new in the shop, what's new that they created, the next drop. They're always like hard sales. And most of the time, people going on, let's say if this was Instagram, they want to be entertained, they want to learn something, they want to kind of escape wherever they are at the moment. They don't want to be sold to all the time. So that's when we get into this nurture and community content. So that's when that know, like, and trust factor you need to work on. You hear this all the time in marketing, and many people are like, what does that mean? So we're going to dive into that. For sales content, that's like that hard business messaging for sales. So for nurture and community, this is the people and the process behind the business. Whereas the sales content, this is that product and service offering. You do want to make sales, and this content is needed on all your platforms. But instead of having it 100% of the time, you want to kind of be peppering it in for your content strategy. And then the nurture and community, that's the who and the how, whereas the sales content is really what. What are they making? What are they offering? What's their service? So with that know, like, and trust factor, we're going to dive into the trust. And you'll hear brand story, visual branding, visual storytelling, content marketing. These are all essentially the same term. And the essence is that you're using that visual content to share something about the business beyond just that hard selling. And many times in that nurturing community, you're essentially soft selling without being like the sales, the salesy person that many people don't feel comfortable being in. And I totally get that. So when I'm talking about visual content, it's photos and videos. So what I show you on the next slides are they're going to be all images, but you can definitely swap out video if you have some great video clips, whether it's on your phone and you're DIYing your photos, or you have someone on your team, or if you bring a professional in, and if you're a brand photographer, if they bring you in, these will give you some great examples of where to go. So first, the sketches or mock-ups, this is really showing the intention behind the business. And for brand photographers, notice all these images are process images, lifestyle images. and the maker or the person, your client, is in the frame. This is not a still image. You can see their hands. You are humanizing the content. Even though you don't see their face, you know there's someone behind this business, which is critical. And for SketchUp and mock-ups, for like makers, artists, and designers whom I serve a lot, this is sort of your beginning phase of your process that you want to speak to, because it really shows your dedication, the time, and how you communicate when someone is working with you. So these are always great, powerful images for showing intention. Another example is the tools or the materials that you use. So here are some examples as well. You can see hands, you can see the person, the maker, or here, if we want to highlight just the special material that they use, that they source, is a great talking point. It's showing how they're unique in their business. And this really shows craft and care. So they can speak to this. And you can see there's tight detail shots. I love to leave some space in images. Like in terms of composition, it's strong, but then if they wanted to add some text overlay, I'm always thinking that way as well. They have room to do that too. So you can see this is an overhead. Again, process. These are all kind of those process images, lifestyle images that I love, and they're in their authentic space, which adds another layer to the story. They're getting a peek inside of what the space might look like. And this third category is the person working or speaking. And this is really builds connection and credibility. So all those three categories have different purposes. But you could really, like this image here of the blacksmith, this could go into speak to their tools and their materials. So the images can be interchangeable, like that's why you want to leverage these images. They have purpose and intention behind them, that it just doesn't have to live on their website. They can use it in so many different ways. And here I've added, most of these are that middle ground. They have a service. They also have a product, especially with like bakers and artists. They kind of have the overlap. But I have also added a business coach and a speaking event just to show you they're seen. You see the client in these images. So as a brand photographer, if someone is trying to build like more connections on their Instagram or social media platforms, and they're building their personal brand and credibility, that's where these images of them working or speaking come handy, because someone can see them. And everyone wants to know who they're investing in, who they're buying from. So that's how you can kind of play with these images to kind of hit on all these building trust factors. Okay, so now that we have that visuals set, and we might want to know the purpose, like what's the intention, how are they going to use these? Sharing the why. Maybe that you choose this method. If you are a business coach, why you choose a certain method in how you run your business coaching. Or if you're a maker, artist, and designer, why you choose the materials, why you choose a certain technique. This is where you're giving context. Just imagine, I'm always putting my head into my client's space. If they had just their maker's booth set up with all their products, people would just walk by if there's no context, if there's no, they could see their use. Or if you are a business coach and just say, I do business coaching, but there's no context. Like maybe you're a business coach just for women. Maybe you're a business coach for startups. That little tweak is giving context, and people become more curious, because if that resonates with them, then they'll want to know more. So really the sharing, you have the visuals, but once you share the story of why you're using that material or that technique, now we're building that voice to the visuals. And I wanted to highlight each one that we just walked through and how it could be used. So mock-ups or sketches, they show intention. So why are we want to talk about this? So maybe they want to talk about why they make or provide what they provide, showing your level of detail, highlighting the first phase of the project. So many times when I'm working with clients, part of the website that typically is always missing is like how to work with me. And these are great images to kind of hit that on the website, but then it's a great talking point for when they're on social media. So when you're working with this stained glass artist, she does all draft sketches of what the final piece is, because now she can figure out how much material that she needs, the sizing, the colors, and then she can present this, and then she can get sign off for a commission work, and then she can proceed with the process. So you always want to think about, what message do I want to get across to my customers? This one image could be used for exciting news. I'm working on a new project. Can't wait to start. I'll share more soon. This could be, if you're interested in working together for a commission piece, this is my first phase of the process. I always sketch out, get your approval. It's a collaboration. This could also be a reel where it starts with the sketch and then goes through all the different phases of her making it to the final product. So although you're taking this one image, there's so many possibilities, and she can use this over and over again. And obviously not every day, but keep it fresh over a couple months or even once a year. You can really have a lot of power in just one image if there's intention and purpose behind it. Okay, so the materials. So why talk about this? First, you can show your level of detail in your craftsmanship, especially if you're a maker, artist, or designer. It shows the dedication to your craft. Maybe you had to do a special course for a skill. You can highlight that. And again, you want to think of how you want to, what message you want for your customer. When I'm talking about customers too, this is another key thing. Always think of the brand new person coming through your door or landing on your social media platform day one that knows nothing about you but is interested, to that person that is a repeat customer. Because the content and what you're saying can vary. So if this is a new person coming in, you could be talking about, I also provide engraving. This is a calligrapher and engraver. And for the advanced person that's been, a client for a while, she can talk to how gifting or an event, or she could be talking to, she does like brand activation. So if a new store's like opening up, she can be there. There's so many levels of what she could speak to just with this one image. So always think of like, okay, if this is a brand new customer, or do I want to be talking today to that advanced repeat client? And then you working or speaking, that credibility, and this is really showing your expertise. And you can highlight an educational piece, which is always good instead of all those hard sales. And people can see who's behind the brand. We touched on this before. They're seeing the actual person behind the business, and we really can, so many different variables with this image. It could talk about the workshop she just had and share gratitude for everyone who came. She can talk about the next workshop she's going to have. She can talk about the key takeaways from this workshop and what was great and how everyone created their floral arrangements. That's the story to go with the visual. That will really build someone's engagement up, build curiosity, and that's how I'm approaching the content strategy. So like I said before, we have the visual. Now we're adding that context. And as social media has been evolving, you can now either have most of it in the caption text, you could have a voiceover, you could have a 2-camera video speaking the information as well. There's so many. I know sometimes it can be frustrating for a client that there's so many options, but it's really, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, having a new feature like voiceover, it just changes it up, and then now people can be engaged again and be like, oh, this is something new, and they can build that curiosity. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful in answering the recent question that I had about strategy and content and how I'm helping my clients in having those purposeful images, the intention, and they now know how to use the images, why we're taking the images, and then that can build their platform even more. Okay, so if this was interesting and you found this helpful, I would love to serve you even more. In the description below, I have a link for a waitlist. I'm going to develop a course on the content strategy for brand photographers so they can help their clients even more. If this is a skill that you're still looking to develop, I'm going to link down below in the description. And in the meantime, I'm going to leave a video on a brand shoot and kind of start to finish and how I set up a brand shoot. So I'll kind of touch on some of these things and I'll show you how I implement in an actual session. All right, I'll see you there.